All right, let's get started. My name is Marco,
Hey, my name is Chantal.
And I'm Lukmaan.
and today we're going to talk about our project for GC02 apps design, the band to the pole. So today we just presented to our client, went very, very well, so we are happy to share it with you. Our journey to get here, we are a team of 3 people who didn't know each other before, and we had to start from scratch, and we started understanding what the problem was, doing some HCI research, and we're going to go through that very quickly here. And then understanding and learning so many technologies from front end to back end, how to connect these two pieces together. That's essentially something we'll cover today as well. And today is the 12th of January. We just presented to our client and ready to share with you. Now let's get started. Chantal, maybe you can talk a little bit about our client and the requirements.
Yeah, for sure. So, in order to get to the personas and to drive this product, we decided to analyze personas and carry out, interviews with with some personas, right? So we define 2 potential personas, so the explorer and the potential donors. The explorer has a limited time, limited resources, and fluctuating temperatures. And the potential donors, they're seeking engagement, they want to enjoy the experience and to be able to have this experience in different platforms as well. So in order to get to these profiles, we undertook a lot of research.
Yeah, especially because the initial requirement was just build something with the health and band API, but we didn't really know what exactly we were expecting, so we wanted to do something meaningful and that could be used. The design concept was building a web experience to follow the expedition with data that we collected and uploaded every day via Microsoft Health, and we only had one goal in mind, which was helping James collect more money for the charities he supports from a more enhanced engagement of the users. And we wanted to measure success. Success is converted visitors to donors. So we wanted to measure how many donors, how many visitors, and how much engagement we had on the page. Today, we're going to go through a little bit the renderings, but mainly the explorer's perspective, backend, and then front-end, and then I'm going to come back with the demo of the website and the deployment. Lukmaan is going to kick off with the explorer perspective.
Thank you very much. Okay, so how the Explorer sees this project and what they use is, firstly, they use Microsoft Band to capture the data, and they use the Microsoft Health app on their phone that they take with them. Once the phone is synced and once they have the band on them, the band operates in one of 2 modes, activity or summary, which I'll go over in the next slide. And once the data is captured, it automatically sends it to the cloud. So these are the 4 things that we're capturing: heart rate, calories, distance, and GPS. In background mode, as soon as you wear the band, it captures the first 3. But because we also needed GPS data to populate the map, you have to use activity mode. And once you are in activity mode, you get access to all this additional data. And of course, here we use the GPS to update the daily progress of the explorers on the map. Moving on to the backend review and what the overall structure looks like. So we used Microsoft Azure because it made sense to, as it was a Microsoft project for Microsoft. We used the web app service, which is just to say that we hosted the website on their servers, and this was the most automated option because it took care of all the underlying virtual machine configuration. For the server, we used Node.js over other languages because it was asynchronous, and we took full advantage of that because it proved to be faster. We use the Express framework because it gave us access to configuring the middleware, which is all the functions that happen between the initial request rather, and the final response. And so we took advantage of that as well. The daily request, so the server takes care of accessing the data to the server as opposed to the client making the API call every time they visit. That also proved to be faster. And as for the viewing engine, this is something we took out because, again, performance-wise, it's faster just to write the pages in HTML rather than EJS or Jade, and then converting that.
Thank you very much, Lukmaan. So let's go with the front-end review. So in order to build our product, we set some priorities. We wanted it to be mobile first, to use a framework with Microsoft design patterns that was easy to use and fun. So in order to build it, we decided to put the following content. A map daily location that you're going to see in the demo, and we use Google Maps for this. then charts with the health data of our explorers. And we first used Google charts, but then decided to use the framework charts.js, which was had many more features and was more interactive. Then we used the Twitter API for the social media. Then Bootstrap for the general organization. We first used Metro UI, but we decided to use Bootstrap because you offer more responsiveness. And also we were still able to keep our Microsoft design patterns. And then the donation links using Just Give, which is another framework. So the path to get here was not simple. As you can see here, that was one of the first iterations with Metro UI, and we can see it was not responsive, and we were unable to really figure out with the documentation how to use it, even if we really spent a lot of time. So that's it for the front end. I'm gonna let it to Marco first.
Yeah, sure. Let's have a look at the demo now. I'm going to open the browser here. So this is the website that we created, and it's currently available. Username and password is Paul. Now, first thing that you see is the map. Okay, that takes 100% of the height of the screen, and it has all the markers there. Every day, the Explorer makes an activity, and we're able to catch it. Now, the challenge section is interesting because you open the donate pop-up, and you have donate buttons that are gonna be able to track donations via the Just Giving API. So we know how much money is donating through this website. Going back to the web app, we can move down and have a look at the dashboard. Here we have two charts using the Chart.js framework, and with this filter using jQuery, we're able to update the charts depending on what Explorer we selected. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to having data for both Explorers together. Now for the heart rate, again, very, very cool feature here. Now this kind of Cortana logo is actually replicating the heartbeat of the Explorer. That's again a way to give more interaction and kind of engagement from the user. And finally, the last section, again, totally automated, showing what is the progress of the expedition and a little bit of information about the explorers. Now, if I access the website from a tablet, so I squeeze a little bit the window, I'll see that everything looks just as fine. Look at that. So all the boxes are placed for each row, and that's because we used the Bootstrap grid framework so that everything looks nice on any device. Let's squeeze even more and go to the mobile view. Okay, so that's the mobile view, and again, we only have one social media box because we thought repetition of boxes just doesn't look very good. So we hided one and kept the other one, and again, the website looks just as fine. And that's it for the demo. Let's go back to the presentation and talk a little bit about deployment. Now for the deployment is very, very easy. You just change a couple of variables in the front end, a couple of variables in the back end, and that's it. We just retrieve data that is relevant for that frame of period, and we download the JSON file relative to that period. We can deploy simply using git. You just add, commit, remote, push, just 4 commands and ready to go. All right, and that was pretty much it from us. That was the Band to the Pole, a mobile-first experience leveraging data from Microsoft Band. Thank you very much.